24 minutes past 7 a.m. Good morning, 61 degrees outside, second hour of the show. Great to be with you this morning. Tuesdays, we set aside some time to try and help you out, sort out some of the things that are going on out there in the digital world, thus the digital dynamic. Joining me from App Innovators is TJ Hunter. TJ, good to see you. How are you?
Good to see you, sir. Good morning.
In for the big guy.
I know. Decided to let him sleep in this morning.
How have you guys around the shop reacted to this Apple FBI thing? On one hand, people look at it and they go, wait a minute. It's like the FBI can't bust into this phone. Some people are saying, no, they can bust into it. They're just trying to make it seem like they can't. What do you guys think?
We have some interesting conversations because we have all types of people in our office, from the guys that create the code all the way up to people like me that actually have to go out and talk to businesses about how safe that's going to be for them.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of broke it down into a couple different things. The first one being obviously the aspect that FBI wants Apple to actually break into that specific phone or write the code for them to be able to break into the phone by disabling the login attempts. That's a slippery slope because once you do it the first time, how many other times can you force somebody to do that?
Here's my question for you. Let's stop right there. Is the technology there? Should Apple be able to unlock that phone, decode it, and hand them a decoded phone without handing them the key to do it?
They probably should be able to do that, but again, that's probably a little bit above my pay grade. But I think that I think if FBI walked in the offices and the CEO of Apple was asked specifically to do it, undercover, no media, to the point where it doesn't get out for this specific phone, probably. But that goes back to, there's also 12 other cases right now pending against Apple for the Justice Department is trying to get them to unlock other phones. So I think there's a bigger picture, not just because of this one instance, but others as well.
Obviously, you've seen the controversy that this has created. I think some of it's been good. There's a raising of awareness in terms of the whole issue of encryption and security and all that. What does this do to inform the average person listening out there, their business, the security of their data, their phones that they use for business purposes? What does this do? What does this say to them?
Learn. Do your research, talk to the right people, because this is not the last conversation we're going to have about data and storage and security. It's just the start. In the next 10, 15 years, there's going to be more. And that's why our office at this point, with the information that we have, feels not that we're siding with Apple, but we're siding with the security aspect of it, because once Apple goes, does Google go, who's also been asked since 2014 to do this very thing. Once Google goes, individual apps go. So it's for the security of our customers, websites, apps, data, all that stuff. We feel like we don't need to go down that slippery slope, because it's Dustin said yesterday, it's just like we don't negotiate with terrorists, right? You do it once and then they expect that there's a crack in the foundation that they can sneak in.
I'm glad you brought that up. And joining me, folks, is TJ Hunter with App Innovators, the website appinnovators.com. This is the digital dynamic. We talk about things going on that impact your business through the online digital world. Saw a story just about 10 days ago, TJ, that just fascinated me because of the different implications. And I don't know if you've seen it. Hospital, I want to say in California, ransomware. They got hacked into, and all of the patient records got locked. And they paid a $17,000 ransom to get the passcode to unlock the patient information. They made a calculated decision. It was better to just pay the thing than to go through the added cost, because I guess the word on ransomware is they set it at such a cost that it's affordable to pay versus the cost to dig your way out of it. How do businesses protect themselves from that type of pirating?
They need to think about it now. They need to think about where their data is being stored. How their encryptions are happening. This happens to local companies. There's a local company in town that had the exact same thing on a much lower level. It wasn't 17,000, it was 1,000 or 1,500.
And it might not be medical records, it might just be personal stuff.
There's so many different types of records that people want to get into just for the information and or just to get the money from them.
Where do you start that conversation if you're a business? I mean, default says, okay, we're going to call someone like App Innovators and find out. Or do you call someone that tries to hack in and see your vulnerabilities? What do you do?
You start with having that conversation with somebody about where their files are stored now.
Okay.
What is it? A filing cabinet? Is it on a server in your office? Is it in the cloud? Do you know where your cloud server is sitting? Do you know if it's with other services or other data that people may want to go in and get? So we start with that conversation, and a lot of times the businesses don't know all those answers. So then we start to kind of put the pieces together, and then we can formulate a plan moving forward on how to protect them going forward. There's been study after study and article after article of UCF and other universities getting hacked. They're going bigger, and it's not going away.
Are we going to see a rebound in the sense that are people going to actually go back to the future and start going paper again because of the threat of having something like this happen?
I hope not, because fire is much more occurs much more than in hacking. So I mean, it's one of those things where if your building burns down, it's gone forever. There's much easier ways to be able to store your data securely and not that expensive, and people just need to start going out there and learning those ways.
Good job today.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you coming in. TJ Hunter with App Innovators. Again, folks, appinnovators.com, the website, and you can set up some time and visit with them. It's real simple, appinnovators.com. 7:30, let's do some news. When we come back, Leon County Commissioner Bill Price.